Out from Valemont, BC. I love it. There's three of you from Valemont. How often does that happen? That's probably the only time I'm ever going to get to say that name at the Cameron House and have that response. That was it. That time is come and gone. Raghu flew out yesterday and Air Canada lost his luggage, so he's stuck in the clothes that he wore on the plane, and he's making do. But I'm so happy that he's here. And I have to tell you, I live in a room in a house on Oxford Street in the Kensington Market. And it just so happens that this very room that I live in was the room that Raghu was living in 15 or 16 years ago. Yeah. When I first met Raghu or heard about Raghu, he had just left that house and he'd been living in the room I live in now. And the weird thing is, man, I've been living in that house for 8 years. And just a couple months ago, I got a piece of mail for you, which has never happened. And I forgot to bring it for you. I'm so sorry, buddy.
It's okay. Must have been from the bank with red letters on it.
It might have been something bad. It looks kind of bureaucratic. But I'm going to find it.
You keep that.
All right. I'll deal with it for you. Anyway, I want to tell you that when I met Raghu originally about 15 years ago in Toronto, he was just starting to write songs. And I just think it's an amazing coincidence to me seeing him in my house last night looking around, sort of puzzled by the remnants of a former lifetime of his when he lived there. It's an amazing thing to me that he's become one of my all-time favorite songwriters. And I'm so happy that you're all here, and I'm so happy to have Raghu here. Would you welcome him from Valemont, BC? Raghu, welcome.
Wasted and staggering is looking for a smoke. Mr. and Mrs. say sorry but they don't. New love rushed across the street to avoid him, and wasted is dancing a solo. Slave wage is shutting down the subway joint. High risk is adding up the big fat accounts. Red zone is painting resist on a shed, and wasted is dancing a solo. Half moon Thursday, autumn, Milltown is gonna see his baby, it won't be long now. 6 cylinders is cracking down the drag. Flip-flop is pedaling to the basement. Track pants is walking a 3-legged dog, and wasted is dancing a solo. Free verse is divining, meter in a junk pile. No mind is waiting for the ferryman. Good news is wired up for bad rock and roll. Wasted is dancing a solo. Half moon Thursday, autumn, Milltown is gonna see her baby. Won't be long, it won't be long, it won't be long now. Wasted and staggering is looking for a smoke. Mr. and Mrs. say sorry but they don't. New love rushed across the street to avoid him, and wasted is dancing a solo. And wasted is dancing a solo. And wasted is dancing a solo. Thank you. When I fled Nova Scotia, I ended up in Prince George, BC, drawn to my brother's couch. And Prince George, BC is a dirty, stinking mill town in north central BC. If you go to a place like Victoria and you tell them you're from Prince George, they'll say something like, "Oh, I'm sorry." But they're fools, because they mistake nice and pretty for good and beautiful. This is a love song to Prince George and any dirty, stinking mill town you can think of. As I came walking down Burton Street, heavy-hearted and dragging my feet, well, a funny kind of woman there I chanced to meet, named Caledonia. Well, I smiled at her and I said, how do you do? And she threw me against a tree and said, what's it to you? I said I come in peace, and then she loved me black and blue. Caledonia. Well, she's not pretty, but she sure has style. Once every month or so she'll give you a smile. She smells like she hasn't bathed in a long, long while. Caledonia. She was found as a baby on a pile of 2x10s, and they kept her in the coop with all the broody hens. Threw her in a moose steak every now and then. Here you go, Caledonia. And when the farmer died, she was sent to the town, where she beat up all the boys and burnt the group home down. Set loose all the dogs and the cats in the pound. Woo! Caledonia. And then she took to walk the loneliest trade, bought secondhand books with all the money she made, lived on Emma Goldman smokes and artificial lemonade. Caledonia. If I were Corin Raymond, I'd tell you now, and this is important. My friends all say, why do you stay with such a bitch? She'll leave you for dead in a muddy highway ditch, or sell you for parts for half an hour of stinking rich. Caledonia. And I say, no, you're wrong, she's not nice, but she's real. She's got a love to give, she's got secrets to reveal to the one who in her mess sees the power to heal. Heal me, Caledonia. She does not pretend, she has never lied about the John she's done or the drugs she's tried. She's not ashamed of her place in the social divide. Not her, Caledonia. And there's pretty girls in the islands, I hear, with sweet-smelling skin and lacy black underwear. But me, I'm in love with a 40-ounce stare named Caledonia. And I asked her once about death do us part. She said, I make no such promises, but I'll show you my heart. Here it is, wild and sad like some great work of art. Caledonia, 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 Caledonia. Thank you. Well, I consider myself to be some kind of part-time, half-assed bohemian. I wanna get drunk with curly authors whose parents defended bohemian castles of warped wooden floors, where a wonky piano played bawdy tunes. For the friends who were over, just back from the mountains, in some kind of trouble, but painting like crazy and drinking like mad. I wanna get drunk that bad. I wanna get drunk like men with mustaches whose lovers or sons have just been abducted by the secret police. So they drink liquor so strong it could blind an elephant. Sing sweetly the sorrow of 2,000 years of rapeseed and barley that left them with nothing but the bend in their backs. I wanna get drunk like that, but not like the boys who after the gym borrow a car and drive into town and yell at the hippies they see on the way to the bar. No, they can keep drinking alone. I wanna get drunk like that pair on the hillside who hiked up equipped with a tarp and a candle. They're two burning bodies, 3 hot water bottles and wine that she stole from the mayor's reception. And no species of cold could defeat their intention to sit on the snow and stop thinking about sin. I wanna get drunk like them. I wanna get drunk like them. Thank you. How about another hand for Scott Cook? Yeah, as I was watching Scott play tonight, I sing what good company his songs are, and there's something very gentlemanly about his music. I feel like he knows something that I don't know. So until I know it, I'm gonna just enjoy being an ignorant bastard. Well, I might as well tell you where this song came from. You might regret that I did, but I'm going to anyway. Shortly after I moved to Valemont, I had a dream. I was traveling in a country that was very strange to me. And the strangeness of this country was epitomized when I learned this custom, this kind of rite of passage that happened for women, young women in that strange country. Let me repeat, this is a dream. I don't sit around thinking about this stuff. The strange rite of passage that happened for young women in this country is that to train for their first experience of sexual intercourse, they inserted wooden swords into their vaginas. On a special day, they all stood on a football field, bent over, inserted the wooden swords, and hopped in unison across the field.
Must have been a good night before that dream, eh?
And the funny thing is, after I had that dream, I woke up and wrote a love song. It's about 10 love songs in one sex lead. If you had known then all that you know now, you would have never done anything wrong. I couldn't have loved you like I love what's broken down. The damage that made you home to anyone, Suzanne. I'm not alone now. Was it alone then? It was a great time to be a weak man. Every shirt I wore came to me secondhand. My back was always covered, my heart was steady, Suzanne. Just past the train tracks, on that littered beach, you turned to face me. You touched my cold cheek with such precision that it stung for a week. I tried my best to hide it, but I couldn't even think straight, Susanna. Oh, you don't need to train with wooden swords. You don't need to picture what it's like overboard. It's more drowning to get from ship to shore. And there's no way to know it till you have to know it, Susanna. You were exhausted before you went to sleep. You searched the whole house and found some clean sheets, and you arranged them in a secret bed for me, with curtains on the window so the light couldn't hurt me, Susanna. Oh, what's before me and what's behind me are long lost sisters, and they remind me I can never find them, they'll always find me. It's broken and hopeless with us in the middle, Susanna. It was a dream scene. We were on tour. Someone was hungry, so we pulled over for bread and company, but still I wanted more. And you asked me for an old song, like you knew what I'm made of, like you knew Suzanne. I have a friend in Valemount who runs a community television station there. Yeah, in Valemount, in a town of 1,000 people, we have a TV show. Half-hour fake news show, as he calls it, every week. You can find it on YouTube, just YouTube Valemount Live, and there it'll be. It's true. You could be on it yourself, Scott, next time. If you want to be on Valemount Live, I'll put you on there. Yeah. Anyone, any of you, if you want to come to Valemount and be on Valemount Live, just let me know. You're on there. But he was telling me about a time when he was living in Alberta. He was working at a yogurt factory and living under a bridge. Some little apartment there with his Uncle Ed. His Uncle Ed used to like to hang out at the bus depot to scrounge cigarette butts. Once in a while, Andrew would buy a couple of beers and stick them in the fridge, and when Uncle Ed would come home, he'd say, "Hey Ed, do you want to have a beer?" And Ed would say to him, "Andrew, I don't have a beer." This is about a guy who at one time didn't have a beer. He wasn't faking it. Fate was on his side on the days he drove loaded logging trucks down steep gravel roads, switchbacks once safely at the bottom. He'd puke and he'd sob from the fear. His grandpa rode a horse in the Tsar's army. He knew the Bolsheviks would win. He got the hell out of there, bought some land here in the mountains, grew great big sugar beets on his farm. He loves sweet old tunes. He moves a little closer to the man with the guitar. These days it's just coffee in his cup, though he remembers well when it was whiskey in the jar. Sees his daughter every other Friday. He got charged by his ex when the girl told her mother she'd gone drinking with the old man, broken her nose in a fight. Well, he got her back, but with conditions. Meetings twice a month to talk about the anger, nothing in his blood, and no second chances from the judge. He loves sweet old tunes. He moves a little closer to the man with the guitar. These days it's just coffee in his cup, though he remembers well when it was whiskey in the jar. No thanks, he says, one cup'll do me fine. And then he points up at the wall, says that's a picture of my father. He's the one pushing the saw, and that's me skidding logs with the team. That's all gone for worse or for better. We did what we had to do. We tied one on when we could. It was simple, it was brutal. We drank of good times, then we paid. He loves sweet old tunes. He moves a little closer to the man with the guitar. These days it's just coffee in his cup, though he remembers well when it was whiskey in the jar. He loves sweet old tunes. He moves a little closer to the man with the guitar. these days it's just coffee in his cup. Though he remembers well when it was whiskey in the jar. Thank you. I feel like as a songwriter, I'm kind of like a kid in a sandbox, sitting in there with a bunch of plastic toys and kind of go, "Wee," little sound effects to myself and little dialogues between the little plastic toys. Oblivious to what meaning I may have in the world. The stained glass goes through all the colors, the hungry eyes go through the channels. 100 kinds, just the usual, never satisfies. Look out, the endless, bloody loose rebellion, just one enemy, one companion, who makes no sense and aims at something right between his eyes. Unholy, unholy, unholy. The wind blows fierce, the windows rattle, the shim we wedged between the panels. Worked a while, then gave way and slipped between the panes. And now our guests all lie awake and wonder if that is the sound of thunder. When lightning strikes, the finger writes what letter on the ground. Unholy, unholy, unholy. Old withered grandma mischief mutters, no one spares a thought for me. 100 years ago they loved me, now I'm in therapy. Each night I go and see the animal circus where the whips apply the purpose. It's fear below and fear above. I threw a hoop in flames. Unholy, unholy, unholy. Midnight lands a final strike, the thinnest slice, the meanest eye. The iron spike holds up the globe and spins it from inside. It draws a map it's drawn since the beginning, act by act and inning by inning. Or war, if you like, but time keeps winning. Why do you even try? Unholy, unholy, unholy. The milk takes care of the red and the purple. The old lady climbs up turtle by turtle. Unholy. Scott Cook once described one of my songs as inscrutable, which I was happy to hear because I do my best to avoid scrutiny. Although I was busted earlier tonight by Scott Cook, in fact. I was sitting at the table with my young cousins, and Scott Cook walks over and is like, "Hey Raghu, you got a smoke?" I couldn't avoid pulling out the pack I had just bought at the corner store from my pocket. If feels kind of good to be exposed. I smoke.
We love you.
That's the half-assed Bohemian I was talking about. Do you think can I get you to sing with me a little?
Yeah.
Alright. Well, you know, human beings have this problem. We feel things, then we think things about the things that we feel, then we feel things about the things we think about the things that we feel. It's really fucked up. How many of you like to go to folk festivals? Alright, this is a song about folk festivals. So there's two parts for you to sing. One part goes, "These are the gates." So I go something like, "There are no gates. These are the gates. There are no gates. These are the gates." Nice. Okay. And then the part at the end that you have to sing is just "no gates." And I go something like, "There are no gates. No gates to the city." I go again. Let's do that again. "There are no gates. No gates to the city." I know it's easy to jump the gun on those no gates there. But let's do that again. "There are no gates. No gates to the city." Okay, I've built into this song a practice verse. So I say along, I sing a song. How am I going to get you to sing along if I can't say the words myself? I don't know what's going to happen here. I sing a line, you sing, "These are the gates." I sing another line, you sing, "These are the gates." And then I wander over to the A7th here for a while. Then once again, I sing a line, he goes, "These are the gates." I sing another line, "These are the gates. There are no gates. No gates. No gates." Jump the gun. That's okay, that's okay. We can have staggered no gates.
It's around.
I would be a terrible teacher. Okay, here's the practice verse. "There are no gates. These are the gates. There are no gates. These are the gates." There you go. This is not the song, it's just a practice. Sing along. When I sing like this, "These are the gates." You sing like that. "These are the gates." And there are no gates. No gates to the city. Let's do that again. And there are no gates. No gates to the city. You got it. Well, I was walking around. These are the gates, folk festival ground. These are the gates. I was looking for the scene, the great one, the wild one, the jam till dawn. But the songs were shy. These are the gates. They were heavy and dry. These are the gates. And there are no gates. No gates to the city. No, there are no gates. No gates to the city. I got drunk, I hurled. These are the gates. I hit on some girl. These are the gates. I couldn't find my buddy with the keys to the van with the smokes inside. And it was fucking cold. These are the gates. And man, I'm 40 years old. These are the gates. And there are no gates. No gates to the city. And it seemed like all the kids felt much better than I did. They were boogieing in the hall. But I'm so sick of all this bloody music. I've just got a face. Sometimes I hate this place. I feel all alone at the far end of the universe. And what I was wondering was, what if everybody does? And there are no gates. No gates to the city. gates.
No gates!
To the city. And a one, and a two, and a 1, 2, 3. Anyone who knows this song, please sing it along loud and dirty. I keep my brother in the back, playing with his toy trains and his toy tracks and his tool catalogs. That keeps him happy. I keep the house clean, maybe that way we'll finally sell this place someday. Maybe some painter imagining the country. I put out scraps for the stray cats, chop wood for the neighbor, take him up his paper. There you go, Stanley. I play organ at the Baptist service, make a little casserole, take it to the bake sale, listen to the boring ladies and their latest operation. God help me, God help me, I think I wanna kill somebody. God help me, God help me, I think I wanna kill them all. I go through my daddy's stuff. What was he doing with books on Latin? Did he think he was a scholar? He was a mean old fool. I write one-finger letters to the bankers and the lawyers and all the other vultures picking at my bones. Yum, 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 yum. God help me, God help me, I think I wanna kill somebody. God help me, God help me, I think I wanna kill them all. Everyone take a whistle solo at the same time. I read the Bible every day. I know it's wrong to think this way, but even Jesus didn't have a simple brother to feed and a run-down farm to sell. I'm gonna mow down those raspberry canes, pave the garden, open up a theme park, world's biggest shithole. Even got a theme song, goes a little like this. God help me, God help me, I think I wanna kill somebody. God help me, God help me, I think I wanna kill them all. I think I wanna kill them all. I think I wanna kill them all. God help me, I think I wanna kill them all. There's a song called Grave. I can't even find a match to light a simple candle to tame the awful darkness. I can't believe the world could feel like such a grave. And I can't believe the fear that would keep me from the alleys. I say I like the alleys, but I stay out on the street, 'cause I feel much safer there. And I can't believe the world could feel like such a grave. Oh, my darlings in the country, oh my darlings in the town, oh my darlings in the mountains, oh my darlings in the ocean. She lies in the waters deep down. And I can't believe the world could feel like such a grave. There's no jobs up at the bank, there's a dead bird by the river, crushed by a mountain biker who didn't mean to do it. I can't believe the world could feel like such a grave. There's no future in the army, there's no point in matrimony, there's no pasture for the pony, there's not many days till Christmas. There's an old buddy in the park. He says, can you believe the world could feel like such a grave? And I say, no, I can't believe the world could feel like such a grave. So we both sit there and sing, I can't believe the world could feel like such a grave. Thank you. My name is Raghu Lokanathan, in case I failed to mention that. I have a couple of CDs there for sale. I want to thank Frank very much for doing the sound. Katie for handling the door. Scott for opening up for us tonight. You folks for being here and listening. I also have to give a huge thanks to Corin Raymond. He needs to look no further than his own 2 records to play a solid night of killer songs, but he still chooses to pay tribute to the work of other writers and give his love to things he hasn't created. That's a wonderful quality. So a hand for Corin Raymond, please. I'm of Hindu extraction. This is my last song and my last, piece of information for you. I'm of Hindu extraction, and so I really enjoy the Hindu myths. I came across a slim volume of Hindu myths on the streets of Victoria. Someone had left in a box marked free. It was myths pertaining to the history of India's sacred rivers, and this one pertained to the history of the Ganges River in India. And in this book, this is how the story went. Narada, the kind of mystic sage who wanders around with a veena singing songs and making prophetic statements, was wandering around in the Himalayas one time, singing a song and feeling pretty glorious about being up there in the mountains and singing his song, when he came across a field of all these beautiful young men and women, all of whom were terribly mutilated, missing ears and eyes and noses and hands and fingers, and yeah, they were in a terrible plight. And he asked them, how have you come to this plight? He wanted to make it better. They were shy to tell him, but when pressed, they told him, well, we are the scales and notes of music. And he said, well, how come you're mutilated in this way? Well, they said, well, it's the singing of people like you who are so consumed by their own pride and sense of virtuosity that they destroy the true spirit of music. So needless to say, he was grieved at what he had done to the spirit of music, and so he asked if there was a way that he could make it better. And they told him, well, if you summon Shiva, the god who is the perfect singer, to sing to Vishnu, who is the god who is the perfect listener, then maybe we will be made whole again. And so Narada, true to his intention to rectify his great error, summoned Shiva and Vishnu. They all sat together in the field with the mutilated notes of music. Shiva sang, Vishnu listened, and was so taken with the beauty of the song that his body melted in ecstasy and became the waters of the Ganges River. But what I was wondering was, what the heck was Narada singing? And I realized I have written that song myself. Thank you very much for listening. Oh, it's so good to be playing here in Toronto. When I was living here 15 years ago, I didn't know who I was. But right now I think I do. Everybody loves me, I can see why. I'm a fucking genius. The shit that I said that night we got high. I'm a fucking genius. I'll crush the infidel with my evil eye. And don't feel bad if you're just a regular guy. First thing in the morning, last thing at night. I'm a fucking genius. Your song's not bad, but hey, listen to mine. I'm a fucking genius. I rule the heavens from the corner of my mind. And don't feel bad if you're just a regular guy. I make the river flow, which make the corn grow, which make the whiskey sting, which make the gods sing la 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 la. Oh, it's really so great just to be alive when you're a fucking genius like me. And if you think that I'm crazy, just proves that I'm right, that I'm a fucking genius. And if I meet the Buddha, you can kiss his ass goodbye. Don't feel bad, don't feel bad, don't feel bad if you're doomed to be a regular guy. Thank you very much, folks. Another little break and the wonderful chord arrangement is up. Thank you.